What's going on, guys? I thought today would be a great day to do the tour finally and show you around my little home. Currently at my parents in Saskatchewan right now. I've been here for the last about 2 weeks, just helping them out with some stuff and just getting some stuff ready on the rig. This was always part of the plan, so yeah. No adventure video today, but showing this thing off will be an adventure of its own. So we'll start off with, what is it? It's a 2001 Northern Lite 10-2000. They originally used to call them a 10-2000. They're now called a 10-2. So one of the big differences with this one compared to like a 9.6 or anything else, this has it's 4 inches wider, and it also has a full 10-inch, I believe it's 10-inch basement. So you can actually fit quite a bit down there. Enough of me talking about it. Let me show you. First of all, we have electric jacks. That was the biggest thing for me when getting this, is I wanted electric jacks. Now I got them and I love them. Taking the camper off is actually really easy now. In here is where the original battery box was. I actually took it out to make more room, and now I have 400 amp hours of lithium batteries. They are eco-worthy batteries. I've basically been able to get away with buying the cheapest ones that reviewed really good, and they've been awesome ever since, so I like them. They also have low temperature cutoff. And if you live in Canada, you want that. Right here is just, well, it's just the fridge. It's kind of weird. I've never actually seen one with an opening like this. Usually they're just a cover, but yeah, this one opens. Kind of nice. My furnace exhaust right here. Right here is my propane, which is two 20-pound propane tanks. And then we come to the back here, and this is where it gets a little bit more cool. Let me show you. This is usually like a generator storage, but I don't have a generator in here. And the one that I do have, unfortunately, it doesn't fit in there, so it's in the cab of the truck. Otherwise, the original generator that would come with these before, it would be in here, but I just use it for storage now, and there's a lot of storage in there. This here is the basement, and I have to move my stairs to open it. There we go. I don't know if you can see in there, but it basically goes almost all the way to the front of where the box of the truck would be. There's a lot of room in there. I can fit an entire paddleboard in there. So you might be asking, what is this? And this is a new addition. I still have a little bit of work to do to it. I have to move this over just so it's not blocking the taillight when the bike's on there. But this is actually for my mountain bike. I put it up, hook it onto there, the fork onto there, put the front wheel into, well, I'll probably put it underneath, but yeah, and it holds on there really nicely actually. I did this before on my old one, and it worked out really well. Right here is the sewer hose. Oh, and you also have these nice little like, these are levels here. You got another one over here. Oh, it won't focus. You're just gonna have to believe me, that's a level. And then this in here is all your dump valves and everything like that. It's a lot bigger than my old one, so you got a lot more space in there. Outdoor shower. This is basically a plug-in, or it's my power cord. Yeah, so it hooks my power cord there, and then also for my electric jacks, it just plugs in there. You probably can't see it. Oh, there we go. And that's for my electric jacks. You just plug that in right there. And that's the controller for my electric jacks. I usually don't keep that in there. And last but not least, my water heater is right here. It is an auto ignition one, so you don't have to come out here and light it at all. My other one was just like that too. This is the cable for my DC-DC charger. And this is the water fill up. So yeah, that's basically it for outside. I will say the roof does have 400 watts of solar on it. That's about it for outside. So let me show you inside.
You are like gold dust over me, just like an angel setting me free. Where are you now? Do you feel safe? I don't need an answer, just need some space.
This is my Northern Light 10 too. I absolutely love the original in this. It's so gorgeous. I'm going to show you guys around, and then I'm going to tell you guys some differences between this and a similar year 9.6. Actually, even today's 9.6. But yeah, I'll show you around. So first of all, I'm going to show you my favorite thing. A lot of people like to leave the best for last. I'm going to show you it first. You thought you could only get this on an Arctic Fox, didn't you? How cool is that? A slide-out pantry. Now, I believe the newer Northern Lights, they do have that. I think it's on the 811 and the 10.2. You can get that. On the 811, though, if you get that, you do not get a dry bath. This here is my bathroom. This is my new shower curtain, as you can see. I think it's very lovely. Hi. So I've used this shower already, and the shower head, it leaves some to be desired. Not a lot of pressure, but the one thing I do like about it is my other one, I did buy it, and when you would turn it off and just leave the water on, it would continue to drip a bit. So I always felt like I was using lots of water. Probably wasn't, but that's just me. But this one, it seems to be a lower flow to it and uses less water. And I don't need that much pressure. I got pretty soft hair. So yeah, I like it so far. I see no reason to change it. So I'll move on to the other side here. Down here we have my furnace. And then this is also my garbage can. Right here is just a closet, basically. So what I put in here is first aid kit. That's all mountain biking gear. That's my helmets. Basically all this stuff's mountain biking gear. Usually in the winter, if I'm going to store any snowboard stuff, I'll probably go into here. Or if it's wet, probably hang it up from this hockey stick here, and let her dry. This right here is my bush coat, and then that's my rain jacket. Along with in here you have your information for the weight and everything else. Okay, let's start from top and go down. This up here is my Tupperware and all sorts of things compartment. Not too interesting. Just nice storage. Right here is my freezer. If any of you remember my old freezer, it was probably about, like you could fit like basically what's right here in there. But this is like, it's not even full yet. I could fit more in there. This is a massive freezer. I absolutely love it. And then we have the actual fridge here. Lots of room. Gotta have your Frank's Red Hot, right? This here is just my coffee station, cutting boards, and whatever else. It's also pretty empty. This is my beautiful stove, and I am excited to tell you guys there's no burn mark on it anymore. So I had in my comments all the time someone saying, hey, why don't you clean your stove before showing it on here? And it was like, I can't. That was actually, it was like, it's a burn mark, and then someone tried to scrape it off, and then it just made it look worse, and it was, yeah, I did not even, yeah. We then have these cupboards up here. Lots of storage in here. Unfortunately, there's pans in here, and if you're someone that's ever stored pans before, which probably have, you'll know they take up a lot of space, and yeah, it's hard to actually organize them. This here is a fun one. Now, I do have another cover for this side, but I never use it. I actually just have it stored down there. I have a dual sink now. Or a whole lot of counter space. This is my little spice rack here. I'd like a bigger one, but yeah, I haven't decided on one I want yet. And this wood matches so nicely. It's like I should just get smaller spices, right? I need a paper towel rack, but this holds it pretty well right there. Now we'll move down here. This is for my water heater. This is my junk drawer. Battery system in here. Under the sink stuff here. We then have under here, which is all my cutlery. Now, we'll move on to the other side. This little drawer here is basically just tools and whatever else. I call this one my fun drawer. I know it doesn't look that fun, but I have cards and stuff. Like I got Uno right here, right? So that's fun. And sunscreen. Always fun when you're in the sun. You don't want to get burnt, right? We're going to start up here, but just basically more storage here. And this is pretty, yeah, this, like, look how much room I have here. I still have no stuff in here. Like nothing, just some hash browns. My mom gave me those to try. I guess they're just like powdered hash browns and you add water. Just add water. This is all spices, basically, and stuff for baking. Because you know I'm going to bake a cake out here. Another thing I wanted to add. So these lights are not LED. This is the only lights in the camper that are not LED. They have such a nice ambience to them, and I just had to keep them. I couldn't get rid of them. Something cool up here is all these little hooks, and I think whoever owned this before added these. I think that's just awesome, and I think they're perfect for holding hats, holding your GPS thing. You should probably have that in the truck in case you're upside down, but yeah, it's there. I then have this little thing. I hold my little journal here, and then my maps. Some of my maps. I have more Backroad map books. I do keep like hard copies of Backroad map books just because they have a lot of like good information about fishing and what kind of fish are in lakes and stuff. They're actually, yeah. And not to mention, you don't need Wi-Fi for them to work. This here is my awesome dinette. One of the biggest things for me when I was looking for a different truck camper was I wanted a face-to-face or a U-shaped dinette. This is a nice face-to-face, and I absolutely love it. It's just incredible. I don't like the couch style. I've never liked that style. When I bought that truck camper, I thought I might get used to it. I did not get used to it. Like if you're playing like cards or something, like this is a lot better. Like you have someone else here and you're playing like Uno or something. It's just a lot better. You're not like sitting beside each other and trying to cheat. It's a much better setup here. Seeing that it's like just me in here, I do actually store quite a bit of stuff under here, and even going down like rough roads, nothing moves. Like my water containers under here, I don't have to worry about that being anywhere weird. So I'll show you guys this stuff here. So we have storage right here and back here. These are actually some pretty interesting cabinets. They pop up like this, and that stays up there somehow. Sometimes it does not, and it comes down and hits me. That is my cell booster. I just got that. I had someone give it to me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought one. But when it works pretty good. It's pretty finicky, and I haven't been able to get it to work lately. But I think it might be an antenna issue, so hold off on that. The rest of this is just all my electronics, and luckily enough, I do have another plug up there. So I'm going to get a power bar for that, and then I'm going to be able to use this as basically like my charging station for everything. So that's pretty awesome. Down here we have more storage. As you can see, I have basically nothing down there. I actually just don't have any stuff to put down there. And then you come over here, more whole lot of nothing. And then over here is just my laundry. I put my laundry bag in there. These are actually quite massive. Like, you have a lot of space in there. It's pretty freaking cool. And then right here is my makeshift TV, which is basically just a tablet. Charging there for my phone and watch. And now we'll move on to the other side here. This is my linens closet. And then also like documents and stuff. Down here, I just actually keep like winter clothes and stuff that I'm not using in the season right now. But every now and again, like you get a cold night or something and you're outside. And it's nice to have this stuff here. So I don't actually put this into storage. I keep it with me at all times. Down here we have all my clothes. And more clothes. As you can see, once again, they're not really that full. There's so much room in here. It's unreal. So something cool is this camper actually came with two of these brochures, and they're from 2001. And I just think it's actually like super awesome. Here, I'll just take some of the pages here if you ever want to read it. Like that right there. So this is mine here. The layout I have, I believe is, yeah, this one right here. And they are actually like full 14-inch. I said 10-inch earlier. It's actually 14-inch basement with heated and enclosed tanks. I would say, because it does have a duct added to the basement, but I would actually, there's one more duct spot, and I am going to add another one just to go straight over to the dump station, just to keep that warm. And then I might extend that other one and tee it off and send it to right to the front, just to make sure those tanks stay warm. Because you know me, I like to keep water on in -30. See that? All I'm missing is the fruit and the flower. Is this a 9.6? Yeah. So I believe, I don't know about this. So these are actually really hard to find. This is a 14-inch basement, but it's on 8.5 and a 9.6. These are actually, they're called Northern Series. So this series with the 14-inch basement on the older ones is called the Northern Series. The 10-2000 is 4 inches wider. So that leaves you with a wider dinette and an actual queen size bed, a 60 by 80 queen size bed. That's north-south. Where these ones, the queen size bed on the Northern Series is actually only a 60 by 70. Now, if you're looking at something that's about, I believe, 2006 and newer, they actually go to the 4 inches wider, but they have a smaller basement on them. The Northern Series comes with the 14-inch basement. So the 8.5, which is for a short bed truck, would be, you get a, it would look something like this basically, because that's a short bed truck, and then there's your 8.5. These are really hard to come by. Like, I've only seen like a few for sale, not a lot, especially in Canada. If you go into like the Pacific Northwest of the States, I've seen quite a few more of them, but there's more people out there, right? Now, 9.6 like this is really hard to find. I think I've seen one for sale, and that was on Vancouver Island. Now, the difference with that is the dinette is going to be more narrow, like I said before. If you go with a classic series, you're then not going to get this cabinet here. I'll show you that. So here's the classic series here. If you're looking at one of these old ones, you basically get a like a 6-inch basement. So that's what my old one had. It was that smaller 6-inch basement. It was just tiny. You could basically barely fit a fishing rod in there. It was basically there so that you could actually heat the tanks. Yeah, you could plumb heat into there, and it just helped with that. And it kept your floor warm in the winter too, right? These ones are much lighter, and they're just a lower roof and everything like that, a lot shorter. You can actually get a 10.2 in this size, which I didn't know about, but I've seen one for sale, and that was in the States again. And then you have the Lite series. So the Lite series is a lot more easier to come by. It has no basement. I believe they are rated for basically their 3-season camper. They don't advise you to keep water on in the winter, I believe. It's just a camper without a basement. It's no different than the Classic series. Actually, I think the north-south bed is actually bigger on these. They're wider because that's a 60 by 76. And they came in a 9.6 and I believe an 8.5. Oh, an 8.4 and then the 6.10. Which, good luck finding a 6.10. You're probably going to pay a real big premium for one of these. They might start to go down now because Northern Light does have a brand new one now that you can buy. So these older ones might actually start to go down in price now. But depends, right? So let's talk tank sizes. So back in 2001, the biggest tank sizes you could get were on the Northern Series campers, the ones with the 14-inch basement, obviously. They came with 36 gallons of fresh water, an 18-gallon wastewater tank, and then a 40-gallon gray water tank. That's a big one because I remember on my old one, the gray water tank was actually a lot smaller than the fresh water. So I always worried about having too much in it before overflowing before I was empty of fresh water. This one, you don't really have to worry about that. Once your fresh water gets pretty low, usually your gray tank's ready to be dumped. You can obviously check with your little things there. I don't know, they're pretty accurate. I would say, it gets you in the ballpark. The nice thing with this one is being 4 inches wider, the dinette is a lot wider, and you get it's a full-size dinette in here. This, though, I would say it's a lot smaller than a present-day 10.2. I've been in a present-day 10.2, and they are absolutely massive. And they just have, everything about them is just bigger and a lot more space in them. So another thing great about this camper is it actually comes with dual pane windows. I didn't realize that. I always thought that because my last one, it had single pane windows and it was advertised as 4-season, that Northern Light wouldn't have put dual pane windows in the Northern Series ones or any of the bigger ones. I was very wrong. This definitely has dual pane windows. One's a little messed up just over here. Yeah, one's a little messed up, but it doesn't affect it really. It's still all sealed. It's kind of cool because even the little one between the truck and the camper, that one there is actually still dual pane too. The only ones that aren't dual pane are the ones on the door. They are single pane. But I think that's just a generic RV door, so they couldn't really do much about that. A big thing I've noticed too is this one compared to my old one is you can definitely sit up in the bed area very easily. The other one, I just made it for being able to sit up, and I'm 5'8", so I'm not exactly a 6'2" guy. If you're someone who's over 6 feet tall and you're looking for one of these older campers, get a Northern Series, and I would recommend just getting a 10-2000 just because it is taller in here. It's quite a bit taller. 5'8" right now, and I have a good amount of space in between me and the camper. So one of the things I noticed about my old one was it had insulation, but there was a lot of spots that it lacked. Where the two shells mate, because it is a 2-piece fiberglass just like this one, where the two shells meet, they basically had a board in there that they screwed into, and that's what attached it and kept the two shells screwed together, right? Well, there was no insulation in there. It was just whatever. So that kind of sucked, because you could definitely tell from it that there was no insulation in the -30. Well, actually, even in -10, you could, if there was no hot air getting to it inside or airflow next to it, you could put your hand up against it and there was ice on there. It wasn't that hard to tell, and you basically had to up in the bed area, I always had to pull my pillows back just so air would get up in there and keep things from icing up. Now you get to this one, There is insulation in every nook and cranny around it. It's completely different. It's a completely different animal compared to that thing. You could tell that they thought they went into it a lot more and put a lot more insulation in these places. It's a crying shame that like Northern Lite doesn't have the schematics or anything like that for this camper anymore, because it would be nice to be able to see like where does that furnace duct that comes out actually goes and stuff. Like I can peek and look and see everything, but there's a lot that I just can't get to, and I'm wondering if it just dumps into there and kind of goes around. I have some investigating to do basically. So that's basically the tour of my new home. I am absolutely in love with it still. I think the only thing that could rival it was maybe the Arctic Fox 811 or 990. Even those, like, they had their quirks where trying to, like, for the year I was going to buy, like, I've heard of people having, like, their line freeze up just by the dump station on those. And I don't know. I think there's lots you can do to make those better and everything. I really, really, really like these fiberglass truck campers. I think they're a great option if you just want to be able to kind of keep the maintenance down quite a bit. I've always loved the Northern Lite product. They've been such a great camper for me. I really like Northern Lites. They're probably one of my favorite campers. Like, this channel might be a little biased to it. By all means, a 30,000 BTU furnace from Bigfoot would have been nice. But we're going to see how this one does. Another thing, too, is like the appliances in here. A lot of them are similar to my old one. So, like, the water heater I had issues with, I fixed it in, like, I diagnosed it and fixed it in, like, 5 minutes. The furnace in here is exactly the same as the one I had in my old camper. Like, there's nothing preventing me from being able to fix that, and I know I can get parts for it. I think the biggest thing for switching to this one was more space, ease of use with the electric jacks, and just the fact that this thing's just set up better for cold weather camping. If you're looking for something for cold weather and you want it to be like the structurally wise, like set up, I would say definitely any of these Northern Lites will do it. I will say that. I know that they will. Actually, just about any truck camper you can use in the winter. If you want to run water, though, I would advise you to get either a classic series and do some mods to it, or get a Northern series like this, and probably still have to do some mods to it. But you're going to have dual pane windows, better insulation in this than the classic series, and just a better setup. But okay, guys, I think that's going to be it for this one. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.